Greetings and a very good morning to you. Welcome to Wings of Libra, a place to rest your wings and uplift your spirit with guidance from the fairies. My name is KP and it's a blessing to be here with you. All right, let's fly right into our fairy wing reading for this morning. All right, fairies, tell us what Libra needs to know today. Tell us what will uplift our spirits. Tell us about the energy of what fairy will be with us. I'm showing their, okay, right here. Thank you. Please show us about the wings. Show us about Libra's wings. Okay. Just a moment. Okay. Unity. Thank you, fairies. Tell us more about Libra's wing. Thank you. As I was talking about wings, here we go. Tell us more about our wings, please. Oh, we had this yesterday. That's interesting. I feel like this is it. Okay. And at the bottom of the deck, we have Artful. Alright, so right here, the Singer of Courage. Today might be a day where we align with this singer, especially being that today's a holiday. Maybe some of us are seeing or going into places that we haven't been, or seeing people that we haven't seen in a while, and this is here to let us know that we can align with this singer and call courage to ourselves. There might be some boundaries that we need to not just enforce, but to also set up at all. Sometimes some of us let people walk all over us. We don't have to do that at all. So when this card comes in reverse, it's indicating that maybe for some of us, the Song of Courage may have grown faint. That doesn't mean that it has gone away, but that it may have grown faint. We might feel overcome by fear or self-doubt. We can move through this by doing some shadow work, especially maybe asking ourselves, we can write it down and journal it out, or just ask ourselves, what are we really afraid of? And quite often, deep soul searching enables us to discover that our true fears are hidden behind our false fears. It's impossible to face false fears because they're merely shapeshifters, shadows without substance, continually changing form. Facing a real fear is much easier because it doesn't keep changing the rules and moving the goalposts. The question then becomes, what can I do to open my heart to courage so when I feel fear, I can follow through on what I want and need to do? While we are there, we might also ask ourselves, what else is present? Because oftentimes when we start going deeper within ourselves, and identifying these fears that we might have picked up in childhood. We might have picked them up from other people that we are around or had been around or have been around. And when we identify those things, then we can see them for what they really are and gently allow them free. We don't have to be bound by them. Here we have unity in its upright position. This card has been coming up recently. This card is, of course, unity, also reminding us of our spiritual home. And unity also tells us that we have much to gain by remembering our own wholeness. It's reminding us that resolution of inner conflict is often necessary before we move ahead, which goes hand in hand with what we were discussing just a moment ago, with this being in the inverted position. So when we let go of anything that is holding us back and acknowledge the fears and move past them, then this can really be supported here, because oftentimes when we let ourselves be held back, then we might be holding on to things that would help other people. What if you were called to write a story that would inspire someone to make better choices in their life? Just for example, this is just an example. There might be a song that you write or a number of things that you could create. It could be a video game that could inspire someone to be a better parent. I mean, there's so many different things that you might be called to do. But if this is happening in the inverted position where you're letting fears hold you back, like, oh, well, would anyone even vibe with that? Would anyone even read this? Would anyone really enjoy this? Maybe this market is too saturated. Would anyone enjoy my story? Yes. Don't let any fear hold you back. Remember that we are all united, and each of us comes with our own sort of medicine that can help other people heal, grow, strengthen themselves. And just the way that we have been helped throughout our own lives, it's important that, especially now, that we work toward cooperation and reconciliation within and without. So that doesn't mean that we need to run around telling people, hey, I forgive you, let's be best friends again. If you messed me up or whatever, I'm fine with it. That's not what this is saying. This is just remembering that we are all united in this place. We are all here, we are all learning, we are all growing, giving, and expanding from here. Some people choose to take from one another, and in that we learn lessons. Unfortunately, sometimes it can be more painful than not, but we also learn how to strengthen ourselves and how to refill our own cups as well. For this card, we are reminded to ask for the divine energy of unity to permeate and guide us. Here we have Balaam, which is interesting because she came up the other day as well. And she is the card that is reminding us of unconditional giving and receiving. So when she's in the inverted position, it is an indication that some of us have been giving so much that it hurts, like giving to the point that we can't give anymore. Some of us have been trying to pour from an empty cup. And if that's the case, and if we haven't been allowing ourselves to hear the song of the singer of courage, then not only are we depleted, but we're also fearful, which can hold us in place. And oftentimes, creating helps us fill or refuel our own cup. So, for example, say somebody is called to, like in this example I was giving earlier, write a story or create a game, but they're afraid to do that. The game that they're creating, the story that they're writing, in doing so, and creating it and getting the art together, maybe getting the music together, whatever it is that they're called to do, that will refill you. Oftentimes, especially if we haven't been creating since we were a kid, like it's like, oh, the last time I really tried to paint was in kindergarten with finger paint or something, and you don't know, you might be called to paint. Maybe you're watching all of these, there's great tutorials on YouTube for painting in watercolor and oil, and a lot of them are just fun to follow along with. Sometimes they're fun to just leave on in the background, and if you have a TV with YouTube. And it's interesting to consider, hey, that is something that can not only bring you a sense of peace, and it can also bring abundance should you decide to exchange the sort of energy. But it can also fill your cup. That's one thing that I have yet to see a video made on, where artists are sharing, hey, this fills me, this heals me, I do this and I feel happy. That's something that we've been encouraged to do a lot lately throughout these readings. We've been encouraged to dance more. We've been encouraged to create more. Here, we're being reminded not to give so much, though. So maybe some of us have been creating, but maybe we've been giving away our creations when allowing ourselves to receive something back for them will refill us. They will heal our tattered wings. She's sitting there allowing herself to be healed. But if she continues trying to fly with those wings, it might get to the point where she can't fly at all anymore, and then she's going to fall, and she won't be able to help the people that she's trying to help. She won't be able to do all of the things that those that depend on her need her to do if she were to allow herself to get to that point. So it's reminding us to upright ourselves. Sure, we can continue giving, but let's also allow ourselves to receive as well. Here we have the fairies of the future, which we just had yesterday. So maybe some of us are afraid to look into the future or allow it to come to us. Maybe some of us see what's there and we're like, oh, okay, nope. And we're just kind of staying stagnant in the now. Which, yes, there is a lot of power in now. There is immense power in now. Some even say that the only time we have is now. And if that is the case, but we're looking at the future while being afraid, then we're moving toward a future that we are actually afraid of. So in order to call forth a future, move into a future that we actually want to be a part of, it's wise for us to allow ourselves to acknowledge, okay, if I'm afraid of the future, I can allow the singer of courage to flow through me. I can do some shadow work. I can ask myself what it is that I'm really afraid of. I can identify that. I can allow that I can allow that to be freed. I can allow that to free me. I can remember that even though maybe there are some beings that I'm so upset with that I don't want to be united with them, by accepting that we are all united, I can remember that I have gifts that might help others get through these times that were so daunting to myself. They may be daunting to others as well. And by remembering that we have this shared experience now, I can move through this. And you might even find people that will help you through it as well. Others might have written books that could help you get started. Maybe there are some videos. There are so much more exchange of information nowadays than there has ever been, and it's wonderful. We can just go here on YouTube and learn so much. But if we were all boxed in and telling ourselves that we weren't united on this, then we wouldn't be able to even have things like YouTube, for example, that it's a great reminder that, okay, we are all united. And we can share, we can create, we can also receive what others are sharing and creating here. We're also being reminded not to give to the point that we're going to allow ourselves to fall. And all of that, it's really interesting how this came out in the middle, because all of that, when we forget that we're united, I know this came out upright, but when we forget, then it's easy to give and give and give to the point where it's like, well, I'm trying to get this going, but you're not allowing yourself to receive. That can come from a place of fear, which can also make us fearful of moving into the future. Maybe we've had experiences in the past that really caused us to have some tattered wings, but we know that we can receive healing. We can unite with others. We can align with courage. We can move forward into the future fearlessly, guided by our fairy guides, our spirit guides, our ancestors. While taking the wisdom that we've picked up along the way into the future with us. Here we have Iris of the Rainbows. Iris is all about the rainbow after the storm. She's here with her helpers in the rainbow light with the arrow that's going to be shot into the sky. And she is all about bringing prismatic light to the storm. So when we receive her influence or her presence in a reading, it's generally letting us know that light is breaking through our present darkness. And she does not promise that the storm is over, and she does not say that it's never going to storm again, but she does say that there is brightness and beauty here, that we can move through this time. A passage through the storm is a time of potential growth, a time to allow the dead wood of our past to be blown away to make room for the green shoots of new growth. At this point, it's useful to ask ourselves what we still need to release, and to look after protecting and nurturing the seeds we have planted. Iris suggests that the cultivation of patience may also be helpful at this time. So that's the card when it's in its upright position. And if we've been, as we receive this card in its inverted position, maybe some of us were allowing fearful ideas of the future to hold us back. And she's here to remind us that, yes, it's true that there is hope and there is promise for the future, but we might feel that it's at present obscured or delayed. And yes, she acknowledges there will be more trials to be met before we come to the end of this storm, but she reminds us that hope, prayer, and faith may be needed. That help is here when we ask for it, though it might not come in the form that we request or in the form that we think that it's supposed to show up. And she's reminding us in these difficult times to remember our aspirations, to consider what it is we're trying to become, and to hold those images surrounded by her prismatic light in our mind as we pass through this time of darkness. So the choice is ours, but she is ready to lighten our path if we will accept her offering into our hearts. She reminds us that no storm, no darkness lasts forever. She's also it's interesting with the placement. I love this placement because this is fairies looking forward to the future, looking forward to the future, to the hopeful time. Look at her looking forward as she's seeing this rainbow. Anna is still following the guidance of the Gnome King. Her guides, her helpers are looking forward. They see the future. They see the brightness in the future. They see what's going to be there for us when we emerge through this time. When we let go of the things that were holding us back through fear-based energies. When we remember that we are all united. When we allow ourselves to receive the healing that not only do we deserve, but that we've been deserving of, that it was our right to receive since we got here, to look forward to the future with excitement, to remember that there is a rainbow after the storm. We are coming into a new time of our lives that is amazing, but if we're not allowing that, then we're not going to allow this amazing time of our life to unfold for us. Here we have our Vol Parrot, and this is a fairy all about communication. Clear communication. And here it's especially because today is a holiday, a lot of us will be talking to friends, family, co-workers, and the like that maybe we haven't seen in a while or we see often, but we're just wishing them a happy holiday. This is reminding us that clear communications are vitally important, to strive for verbal brilliance, but also to listen carefully. And be willing to calmly talk about things, even if it is a sort of a debate. Be calm about it. Allow others to express their ideas while calmly expressing yours without putting people down, while also not backing down yourself. And this is also suggesting that when you do listen, that you listen for other things, that you are mindful of other things. Look for body language, listen for incomplete sentences and unfinished thoughts. Try to discover what those signals are meant to get across. Okay, now we'll go into our Angels and Ancestors deck. Angels and Ancestors, what can you add to our fairy wing reading for this morning? Let me get a bigger table. Angels and Ancestors, what can you add to our fairy wing reading for Libras this morning? Angels and ancestors, what can you add for us to know? What else do we need to be aware of today? What can you add to our fairy wing reading for today? Oh, okay. That was a few of them. Okay, at the bottom of the deck we have Moon, to take note of intuitive messages. This was kind of like yesterday, although I felt it. So here we have Star Ancestor, to follow the voice of our soul. Winter, to take care of our needs. Stargazer, set our sights higher. And Shaman or Shaman, for different pronunciations, to trust in higher forces. Wow, that's a lot. So, okay. Thank you, angels and ancestors. This is what they have to add to all of this. So here, this is first. Let's put this here. It feels like it goes here. So the Star Ancestor, to follow the voice of our soul. Okay. So this card is reminding us that we have otherworldly support, that our friends from the stars can help us if we are willing to be helped and to accept their help, that they can support us in connecting with and following our soul's deepest callings. So there is a deeper purpose to your human journey. Not only were you born on purpose, you were born for a purpose. You were born to be a bright light in the world, and there are supporters out there in the universe sending waves of energy to guide you at this time. Information, inspiration that has been coming your way recently might not be new information, but memories. Your feelings of being drawn in a particular direction are the awakening of an aspect of your soul. You're being drawn towards a road that will not only light you up, but will also help you light up your corner of the world. This card asks us to continue following the cosmic guidance that is coming our way. Wow. And it felt right to go here with the Singers of Courage, because when we let go of fears, we can more clearly hear the communications of the Star Ancestors and any other beings that are trying to help us move forward. I love how these all came out too. Okay, so this is Winter, reminding us to take care of our needs. And here we received this card in the inverted position, which meant that we were giving too much, allowing our wings to become tattered. And look at this coming in to remind us to take care of our needs. And what season is that coming into but winter? Wow. So with this card, I actually want to read from the book, because this is just so interesting how it came out with the timing of this. Okay, enough of me gushing over the timing and the way everything is coming together. And let me just let you know what this card says. So this is telling us to do everything we need to do to be at our best, then move beyond our fears and limitations. For many of the animal realm, winter is a time of hibernation and retreat. You may wish to curl up in a ball too, but although you might not feel as bright as you'd like to be, a primal force within is encouraging you to continue. The winter card features a wolf, one of few animals that stay active all year round. Wolves know what it's like to work alone or thrive within a pack, so if you feel you need to go at it alone this time, know that wolf medicine will help you move beyond your insecurities and relax in your own space. You have an opportunity to move beyond your fears. Although you may feel in the dark, get comfortable with being in the unknown and trust that the light within you will sustain you through what may seem a challenging process. Ask yourself what you need to do to feel supported and alive. You may uncover something from your past that you have buried deep. Know that when you unearth it and shed light upon it, you create space for miracles. You may feel like a lone wolf right now, but it's time for you to be the alpha. When the winter card arrives in the future position of a spread or as the last card of a reading, it can also indicate that the coming winter will usher in important energies with regards to your question or intentions. And see, this whole spread that we're ending up with, as far as the angels and ancestors go, it would have been the last card, but because they gave us a group of cards all at the same time, yes, this winter especially important. Okay, next we have Stargazer, to set our sights higher, which feels like it goes here, which is great because, okay, looking into the future and seeing the beauty of the future, seeing the rainbow beyond this storm, setting our sights higher. Wow. This I'd also like to read from the book, because it just goes so well with everything here. Thank you, angels and ancestors. Thank you. Wow, what a gift we've been given, Libras. Okay, stargazers, set your sights higher. Go beyond your limitations and believe that the impossible is possible. Do you ever remember wishing on a star when you were a child and in your innocence believing that your wish would come true? The stargazer connects with the energy of the cosmos and reminds you that you have the ability to draw in support from the universe. His cloak, with its sparkles and light, shows that you are closer to the energy of the universe than you think. You don't have to go out looking for it. It's already there. So look beyond where you are and create even bigger dreams, visions, and goals, because with the power and help of the cosmos, those wishes can come true. You are on the verge of a miracle. All of your dreams and aspirations are within your grasp, and you are being guided to focus on your vision. The angels who are with you are encouraging you. There is nothing you cannot have or achieve. There's an opportunity at this time to heal an old wound or pattern of lack and not feeling enough. In the past, you've often found it impossible to recognize your worth and to believe that you are deserving of blessings. Angel and ancestor wisdom is reminding you that you are an incredible and infinite spark of the universe, and the universe is not only within you, it absolutely adores you. You are talented, filled with strength, and have the abilities you need to turn your wildest dreams into reality. Wow. And our final card is, all of these were our final cards, but this, to trust in higher forces. Wow. With this card, we're being reminded and asked to trust in our angels, guides, and ancestors. And here, we're being told and asked to claim our power back if we've given it away, which makes sense because oftentimes when we're giving and giving and giving in an unconditionally giving state without allowing ourselves to receive, we might be giving our power away. This is straight up telling us to claim that back. It's telling us that there are spiritual allies working in our favor, and their miracles will unfold much more easily when we move into a state of trust. So call back your power. Stop allowing external forces to divert you from the miracles you deserve. Hand over all of your concerns to your spiritual allies. And when you do so, you allow them to send you intuitive guidance and messages that will allow you to correct this situation and come out on top. The shaman card also shows that you have shamanic potential to move between the realms and connect with your guides in an extremely personal way. So if this card, which it did, comes to us, it's because we need to do some release work with lower energies or our lack of trust in the spiritual energies that are guiding us, which we here we're just being encouraged to let go of fear-based energies. I love the way that this reading unfolded. And here with the moon, we're being reminded to take note of intuitive messages. So with this card, we're being reminded to take note of any messages that we may be receiving, that lunar energies are surrounding our lives, allowing us to understand what is standing in the way. Not everything may be as it seems, and you're being guided to use your discernment. When the moon appears, intuitive or psychic urges are increased, so take note of feelings arising at this time. They are messages from your soul and angels. The moon shines her light on all that has been kept in the dark, so ask yourself if you've been avoiding anything or refusing to deal with something of importance. If so, it could be holding you in the shadows when your destiny is to be in the light. If this card appears when you feel someone isn't being completely real with you, know that their intentions will soon be revealed to you. The moon has no secrets. She reveals all. Wow, what a beautiful reading. Thank you, fairies. Thank you, angels. Thank you, ancestors. And thank you, Libras, who've tuned in and watched this beautiful reading unfold today. This was wonderful. I love the way that this came in. Happy Thanksgiving to all of us. And if you're not celebrating it, well, I still wish you a wonderful day. If you are celebrating it, also wish you a wonderful day. Oh, how beautiful this has all been. Thank you for being here. And I wish you, again, a wonderful rest of your day.